I want to thank you all for coming. We're going to talk a little bit today about what's happening, sort of some of the thinking that we've gone through in the campaign and what we think is important for the country and the world. And we very much appreciate all of you participating, and hope you enjoy this discussion and you get involved, because we need you. I knew when I didn't raise my hand in the South Carolina debate that the likelihood was that the Republicans would come after me. That was completely predictable. It's the reason George Bush set up this political frame. I mean, that's the whole purpose of it, was so that if somebody doesn't accept it or somebody doesn't accept his worldview, then you're unpatriotic and you don't understand how serious the threat is, period. That's what they do, that's what they say. And they're just dead wrong. But I knew the attack was coming, and that's why I thought it was important for me, and I have been doing it, to say very clearly that I see the threat. As Commander-in-Chief, I'll keep the country safe, but I don't accept his political sloganeering. When people criticize me saying, you know, look at how well you've done and you're out there trying to advocate poverty, you're a hypocrite. I mean, my answer is, who's going to do it if I don't? I mean, you look at what's happening in this presidential campaign. It's a perfect example. Nobody ever asked about poverty. We've been through 2 full debates, not a single question about poverty. None of the other candidates talk about it on the campaign trail. Who's going to do it if I don't? You know, maybe I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect human being. Maybe I'm not the perfect messenger, but I care about this. I care about it for a lot of different reasons. First, it's where I come from. Second, I've been standing up for people who can't speak for themselves my whole life, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of what I do. I'm proud of starting a poverty center, proud of trying to help people who can't talk for themselves. If you don't know today, when you're a candidate for the presidency, what it is you intend to do on the big issues that face this country, you're not ready to be president. And my view was that I wanted to lay out there my vision and the specific ideas about how to get America and the world to this place, and let people judge it, you know, up or down.
I wanted to say something. This campaign cannot be about the candidate. It can't. And honestly, if it were just about the candidate, just about John, I wouldn't have wanted to continue this race. I mean, it's only because it's about something bigger. It's only because it's about these ideas and the people who will be helped by the ideas.
What I intend to do is, when I am President of the United States, I will walk out on the White House lawn and say to America, I am proposing a universal health care plan that'll bring down costs for everybody, make sure everybody has coverage. You can quit worrying about health care. You're going to get your health care coverage. Your children are going to have health care coverage. I'll tell them specifically how we're going to pay for it, and then I'll say, but this is the beginning of the fight. It's coming, and you can count on it, and you're going to see millions and millions of dollars spent on television trying to stop this. Every time you see an ad about what I am trying to do as your president, to make sure that you have health care coverage and that you can pay for it, every time you see an ad, you should ask yourself this question: which drug company and which insurance company is paying for this? Every single time you see one. I think the President of the United States actually has an obligation to ask Americans to be willing to sacrifice. I think America's been willing to sacrifice at least since September 11th. They just haven't been asked to. And I think you see evidence of it all the time with the volunteering and the contributions after the hurricane hit the Gulf Coast. America's waiting, but they got a lot of things going on in their lives. You know, they got their own kids, their work, you know, sending their kids to college. They got a lot of things to worry about. Health care, gas prices, and so they will not naturally do this. The President of the United States has to ask them to do it. And if the President asks them to take responsibility, to take action, to be patriotic about something other than war, I think America will be willing to do it. Thank you, Jack. It's very nice, Jack. I think that a lot of the trust has been undermined by being lied to. I think Americans feel like they've not been told the truth, that somehow or other they can't take the truth, and so they need to be spoon-fed. I think that's incredibly disrespectful for any president to feel that way about the people that he represents. And I think this is the reason I want so badly for my administration to be transparent, for people to be able to see exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it, for them to feel ownership of the White House and the presidency and what it is we're trying to do for them. America has always been a place where we believe that even when things are bad at the moment, that if we do what we're supposed to, that tomorrow is going to be better. Tomorrow will be better for us. Tomorrow will be better for our children. I think that has been beaten down to some extent over the last few years. I think people feel like that the hurdles are so big, they're not sure whether they can get past them or not. But I think a president or a leader who says to them, we can do this, and this is how we're going to do it, not just we can do it, but this is how we're going to do it, I think will restore what's been there all along, which is a belief that, that tomorrow is going to be better than today.
It's optimism.
It is optimism. It's the way I grew up, and it's the way I think most people in this country grew up, believing that tomorrow can be better than today.
I think that's actually the thing that, people, you'll hear politicians say, oh, we're smarter, we're better, we're probably, there's a lot of smart people in the world of lots of different nationalities. But I think in national character, maybe optimism is the thing that distinguishes us from other countries.
Yeah, I think it is too. I agree with that. The thing about traveling is there are good parts and bad parts. The good parts are being with people, in front of people, talking about the problems that they face. I love that. Feeling like sometimes you give them a little hope and that they feel like things can be better. I love that. I love taking what they tell me and turning it into action. What it is we can do as a nation to deal with the problems that they're faced with. And hearing, you can't help but feel passionate and motivated about the war, about America's addiction to oil, when you hear story after story after story of people's children or brother or husband or wife who've died in Iraq. It becomes a very personal thing. So all of that is hugely motivating. Part of it's hard. Part of it's hard. Long days, a lot of time spent traveling, too much time away from Elizabeth, too much time away from my children. But
we're going to fix that.
Yeah, we are. We are going to start doing a lot more together. But we're all committed to this cause, and I want to feel like I've done what I can for my country.